We're going to search out and test the best rugged insulated flask. So that's good news. This is the first part of a head-to-head to work out which vacuum flasks are best for serious cold temperature activities. We're talking about down to minus 40 degrees and being bashed around for weeks on end. Whilst you may not need this level of performance, it doesn't hurt to know that your gear can handle it, especially if you're paying a premium. I'm running the initial tests during the festive break, so not at my usual haunts. I suppose that some of you will be thinking that insulated flasks are some of the more basic and non-controversial parts of outdoor equipment, but I'm going to be putting the cat amongst the pigeons here and testing 3 of what I consider may be the best insulated flasks around. I'm going to be taking them onto a big expedition and testing them against some of the most difficult conditions that any flask really should face, and I guess we'll see which one comes out on top. Here are the contenders. I'm not spanning the whole market of vacuum flasks, from cheapy 10-pounders to those giant Stanley ones with huge handles designed for camping trips based from cars, boats or trucks. Those shortlisted are designed to be robust, as lightweight as possible, and with roughly 1 litre capacities. They're not cheap, and interestingly the 3 manufacturers have chosen overtly different designs. Not just aesthetics separate them, but at their core are double walls, glass-free construction and narrow necks. Firstly, the perhaps legendary Swiss bottle company Sigg. We'll uncover whether good marketing and piggybacking on a national reputation for quality actually translates. Next, a Klean Kanteen. This is a brand that I came across in the US, and it's not quite as established in Europe. Finally, a trusty Thermos, a brand name that's become synonymous with vacuum flasks in general. I've used their cheap models for a few years with mixed results. I'll see how their flagship version fares. The caps and lids are the only bits people really interact with, so it would be remiss of me to deny you an insight into that aspect of their functionality. That is, on and off, and so on. The Sigg has a substantial plastic screw-on without a half-open pouring hole. The Klean Kanteen's is a rather snazzy stainless steel, save for some small silicone seals, and also has no half-open pouring function. The Thermos has a more traditional 2-part cap, where you can half screw to allow pouring whilst not removing the whole thing, saving heat. Though, the more plastic, the more there is to break. The tops are representative of the 3 flasks. How useful. The Sigg is large, very large. The Klean Kanteen is pure stainless steel, again rather neat and confidence inspiring. Finally, the Thermos is steel with a silicone coating on some parts, but not others. I'm not sure how this is going to translate into performance. Swishing bicolour lines, a graphic designer's flourish, is naturally a cause for concern. Here are some general overviews of the flasks. The Sigg showing its sheer bulk. I'm unsure as to whether this is a pro or a con yet. Then the Klean Kanteen with its near pure steel minimalist strategy. Finally, the peacock of our test, the Thermos. Weight matters enormously on self-supporting expeditions, and to an extent on shorter trips where you bear the bulk of equipment physically. Let's do the weigh-in. The Sigg is quite a beast, at around 725 grams. The Klean Kanteen, the same 1 litre capacity, is 696 grams. It's not a surprise, as the Sigg seems bulky. The Thermos is, for now, impressive. Despite only a 10% smaller capacity, it's much lighter at 390 grams. The others will have to do a lot to justify the weight penalty. Now we come to expedition preparation. I'm going to offer this video in 2 parts. This one prior to the flasks undergoing weeks and weeks of serious use and abuse. This is how I prep all flasks. A few millimeters of coated closed cell foam. It's not to insulate the vacuum vessels, but to avoid knocks. If the vacuum is compromised by an impact, there's no glass to shatter, but the insulating ability might disappear. I found this with cheaper flasks. One day they work, then they take a moderate knock, and the next they don't. As a finishing touch, this is a trick I picked up a while back, but can't take credit for. Matchsticks taped around a lid means that if there's any ice sticking the lid on, you can get purchase even wearing mitts, and screw it off. Precious minutes of frustration saved. A final test before the main expedition itself over the coming weeks. Boiled water insulation duration. Let's see how they perform brand new. filled with boiling water and then left for 15 hours. This is how they got on. The Sigg's water was measured at 61 degrees Celsius. You North Americans might need this translation. The Klean Kanteen dropped down to 72 degrees. The slightly smaller Thermos was quite the trooper, and you can make your own conclusions about the effect of the lower absolute surface area. It maintained an impressive 77 degrees. So let me head out into the cold for a good while, and I'll report back how they survive, if at all. Bye.